Classification 2. Introduction. In Form 1, we covered Classification 1. We identified the major taxonomic units as kingdom, phylum or division, class, order, family, genus, and species. We also named the 5 kingdoms as follows: Monera, Protoctista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. The animation below shows the representatives of the 5 kingdoms that are used in classification of living organisms. Click on the play button to view the animation. In Classification 2, we are going to look at the general characteristics of the members of these kingdoms. We will also cover construction and use of dichotomous key to identify living organisms. Kingdom Monera. This kingdom comprises of bacteria and blue-green algae. Their general characteristics are presence of a cell wall not made up of cellulose. They are unicellular and microscopic. They have few organelles which are not membrane-bound. They are prokaryotic. This means that the nuclear material is not bound by a nuclear membrane. Movement is by flagellum. They reproduce asexually by binary fission. Most respire anaerobically. Kingdom Protoctista. Members include amoeba, paramecium, plasmodium, spirogyra, algae, chlamydomonas, and euglena. The animation shows examples of some members of Kingdom Protoctista, such as euglena, chlamydomonas, and spirogyra. Click on the play button to view the animation. The illustration below shows the main parts of an amoeba. Characteristics of members of Kingdom Protoctista. Varied body forms. Some are unicellular while others live in colonies. The unicellular include amoeba, paramecium, euglena, and chlamydomonas. The multicellular include spirogyras that are also thalloid in nature. They are eukaryotic, that is, their nuclear material is bound by a nuclear membrane. Protoctista has many organelles such as mitochondria, food vacuoles, and contractile vacuoles. Most are mobile, movement propelled by means of pseudopodia, cilia, or flagella, whereas others are sessile. The lashing of the flagellum in the chlamydomonas and the euglena causes forward movement. The beating of cilia in the paramecium causes spiral movements. Click on the play button below to see the movement in paramecium, amoeba, and chlamydomonas. Some of the Protoctista are heterotrophic while others are autotrophic. Play the animation to see phagocytosis in amoeba. The mode of reproduction is mainly asexual by fission, fragmentation, or sporulation depending on the species. In some, specialized structures are used to perform specific functions such as contractile vacuoles for osmoregulation. Kingdom fungi. This kingdom comprises of mushrooms, toadstools, yeasts, bread molds, and penicillia, which are well-known saprophytes. The parasitic ones cause animal and plant diseases such as ringworms in humans and wheat rust, tomato and potato blight in plants. The animation below shows mushrooms, bread molds, yeast, and toadstools, which are examples of kingdom fungi. Click on the play button to see the organisms. General characteristics of members of kingdom fungi. They are eukaryotic. They lack chloroplasts. Some are unicellular while others are multicellular. The unicellular ones are the simplest forms, for example, yeast, while the multicellular forms have a basic unit called the hypha. Hyphae appear as filaments which collectively make up the mycelium. Fungi reproduce both asexually and sexually. Asexual reproduction is by spores formation or budding, as in yeast, whereas sexual reproduction involves fusion of nuclei in hyphal branches. The illustration below shows mycelium in a rhizopod. Kingdom Plantae. The general characteristics of kingdom Plantae are eukaryotic and multicellular, body differentiated into leaves, stem, and roots, have cells with cellulose cell wall, have transport system, they are autotrophic, reproduction is both asexual and sexual, and they show alternation of generation. Divisions of the kingdom Plantae are Bryophyta, for example, moss plant, Pteridophyta, for example, fern plant, and Spermatophyta, for example, maize plant. The following are the photographs of the moss, fern, and the maize plants representing the three divisions of kingdom Plantae. Division Bryophyta. Examples are moss and liverworts. The members have the following general characteristics. They are terrestrial green plants which grow in humid or moist surfaces, for example, on the backs of trees, rocks, wall of buildings, among others. The following photographs shows moss plants growing on walls of buildings, rocks, and bark of trees. They are not differentiated into roots, stem, and leaves. Instead, they have rhizoids for anchoring and absorbing water and dissolved mineral salts. The illustration shows rhizoids of a moss plant. They show alternation of generations. The gametophyte is the gamete-producing part and is dominant, while the sporophyte is the spore-producing part and is born on the gametophyte. They are non-vascular. Division Pteridophyta. These include the ferns and horsetails. The ferns show a wide variety from the small to giant tree ferns of more than 10 meters tall. A giant fern tree and a dwarf fern tree are shown on the photographs. They have chlorophyll so they can photosynthesize or are autotrophic. They have roots, stems, and leaves, but no flowers. The leaves are called fronds and grow from the stem. On the illustration, roots, stem, and fronds of a fern are shown. On the lower surface of the fronds, they bear spore-producing structures called sori. They possess clearly defined vascular tissue. They show alternation of generation where the sporophyte is dominant. Division Spermatophyta. This division falls under the kingdom Plantae. Members of this division are common green plants around us. The photographs below show pine, palm, coffee, tea, coconut, nandiflame, jacaranda, and maize plants, which are examples of members of division Spermatophyta, but no flowers. The leaves are called. They are referred to as the seed-bearing plants and share the following general characteristics. Plant body differentiated into roots, stems, leaves, and seed-bearing structures. The animation shows the different parts of a maize plant, highlighting some of its features. Click on the play button to view the animation. Vascular tissue is highly developed with xylem tissue containing both xylem vessels and tracheids. Seeds are produced after fertilization. They contain chlorophyll for photosynthesis. Reproduction is sexual and does not depend on water for fusion of gametes. Subdivisions of division Spermatophyta. Division Spermatophyta contains two main subdivisions, Gymnospermaphyta and Angiospermaphyta. Gymnospermaphyta. Plant members in this group include pine, cypress, and cedar. The photographs below show the pine, cypress, and cedar plants. General characteristics of Gymnospermaphyta. Bear cones of two types, male and female cones. The male and the female cones are also shown on the photograph below. Show xerophytic characteristics, for example, rolled leaves, needle-shaped leaves, sunken stomata, and thick waxy cuticle. Xylem tissue, which is mainly made of tracheids and phloem, does not have companion cells. Seeds are borne on female cones and are not enclosed in a fruit wall or naked seeds.